Hello friends, welcome back for the lecture series of engineering mechanics. Today we are dealing with the next coordinate system is normal and tangential coordinate system. In previous lecture we have solved some numerical of x and y coordinate system, that is rectangular coordinate system or Cartesian coordinate system. So in order to locate the position of a body on a curved path, the another coordinate system is used, that is known as a normal and tangential coordinate system. So consider the motion of a particle along curved path. The velocity vector is always tangential to the path, but the acceleration vector is of some other angles. So let's say that this is a curved path. The vehicle is moving on the curved path. So in that case, the velocity of that vehicle is always tangential to the path, and the normal component of velocity is always directed towards the center of the curvature. So my dear friends, always remember that in case of tangential and normal component of velocity, that is NT system, the velocity is always tangential to the path and the normal component of that velocity is always equal to 0. So the velocity along the tangential path is represented by the notation V suffix t, and the normal component of velocity is represented by the notation V suffix n. So Vn is always 0 in case of normal and tangential component. Why it is 0? Because velocity is always tangential to the path. So no component of velocity is towards the normal direction. But in case of to find out the acceleration having the some different angle as compared to the Vn and Vt. So direction will be different, that we have to be find out. So here this is curved path. So while traveling on the curved path, normal and tangential velocity component is always changes. So here normal component is toward the center of the curve. Now when this vehicle is moving from this point to next when comes towards this point. So in that case, the normal component will be changes its direction, that is comes towards the center of the curvature, and tangential component is always tangent to the curved path. So E cap or ET, we are using the unit vector in tangential direction, and E cap or En bar is unit vector along the normal direction. So here you just have to remember that in NT system the normal component of velocity is 0 because velocity is always tangential to the path. So here Vt is itself is nothing but the V. Got it? Tangential and normal component of velocity, that is NT system. So velocity component. Now here I have draw the only one curve, and its normal component of velocity is Vn. It is towards the curve center, that is Vn, and Vt is always tangential to the path. Vt and At is along the same direction, An and Vn is along the same direction. Here velocity V is equal to Vti plus Vnj, where I and j are the unit vector along t and n direction. Here tangential component of velocity Vt is equal to V itself, that we have already discussed in last slide, and normal component of velocity Vn is 0. So resultant velocity V is equal to Vt, or we can find out V is equal to under root of Vt square plus Vn square. As Vn is 0, so this square root and square get cancelled, so V is equal to Vt. Normal and tangential acceleration component of NT system. So acceleration component A is equal to ATI plus ANJ, or A is equal to AT ET cap plus AN EN cap, where I and J are the unit vector along n and t direction. Here tangential component of acceleration at is equal to dv by dt. So remember, tangential component, it is like a rectangular motion. Okay, so that is the motion along the straight path. So for at we can find out the at by using the rectangular component of acceleration, that is dv by dt. Differentiating the equation of velocity, you will get the value of at. And normal component of velocity, sorry, acceleration, can be found out by the formula an is equal to v square upon rho, where rho is the radius of curvature. Rho is radius of curvature. So remember this. So here in this topic, you just have to remember the formulas. So what we have to remember, Vn is 0, Vt is equal to V, At is equal to V dV by dt, and An is equal to V square upon rho. And acceleration A we can calculate total acceleration under root of At square plus An square. So these are the some important points. Velocity component, that is tangential component of velocity, Vt is equal to V itself. Why? Because normal component of velocity is always 0. So acceleration component is at dv by dt, that is rate of change of velocity with respect to time, and it is at is always tangential to the path, so that can be find out by using the rectangular coordinate system. Or you have equation of rectilinear motion, from that we can find out the at. So remember that at we can find out by using the equation of motion in rectilinear. At can be found out by the rectilinear motion equations. So normal component of acceleration an is equal to v square upon o, directed towards the center of curvature, and rho is the radius of curvature. So if rho is not given, an is given, so in that case can you able to find out rho? Yes, an is equal to v square upon rho, so rho is equal to v square upon an. So sometimes if equation is expressed is y as a function of x, that y is equal to x square, like that, if this equation is given. So in that case, if you want to find out the radius, that is rho, so we are having the formula 1 plus dy by dx square upon d square y upon dx square. Okay, this is the first derivative and square of that, and this is the second order derivative. So from that you can find out the radius of curvature if y is a function of x is given. So my dear friends, this formula is also important. If sometimes y of function of x is given and they have asked us to find out an and at, or total acceleration in nt system, so in that case this formula is important. Some more important points: if the magnitude of velocity is constant, then velocity component vt is equal to 0 and vn will be only there. If the direction of the particle does not change, the motion along the straight line, therefore rho is equal to infinity, and in that case an is equal to 0, only at will be represented. So friends, please remember that while the in rectilinear motion, the radius of the curvature, so that is rho, is infinity. When rho is infinity, we are having the formula an is equal to v square upon rho. So in that case this rho is infinity, so what will give it value of an? So in that case an becomes 0. So for straight road an is always 0, so only one component of velocity, that is at, and in that case this equation is transformed into the rectilinear motion, that is motion along a straight path when rho is infinity. If the speed in increasing along the curve, then at will be positive, directed in the direction of motion. So at will be positive if the speed of the vehicle is increases along the curve. So these are some important points, friends. You have to remember these important points. Let's begin with a simple numerical. An outdoor track is 126 meter in diameter. Diameter is given of that track. A runner increases his speed at a constant rate. So please remember this word, constant rate, from 4.2 to 7.2 meter per second over a distance of 28.5 meter. So in order to achieve this speed 4.2 to 7.2, it required the 28.5 meter is the distance required. Determine the total acceleration of the runner 2 seconds after he began to increase his speed. So we have to find out the acceleration of the runner when after 2 seconds when it tried to increases its speed from 4.2 to 7.2 meter per second over a distance of 28.5 meter. So here diameter, what are the given quantities? Diameter is given 126. Can you able to find out rho? Yes, rho is nothing but the radius of curvature, that is 63. 126 divided by 2, that is the radius. T is equal to 2 seconds is given. We have to find out the acceleration A. As speed is increases at a constant rate, that is we can call as U is 4.2 and V is 7.2 and S is given 28.5 meter. So use the equation of motion V square is equal to U square plus twice of AS, because S is known, U is known, we have to find out the AT. So from that we can find out the AT is 0.6 meter per second. That is the tangential component of velocity. It is by rectilinear motion equation. Okay, so AT is now known to us. Now we have to find out the AN. So find the velocity at t is equal to 2 seconds. We have to find out the velocity at t is equal to 2 seconds. Substitute this value, t is equal to 2. V is equal to u plus at. So in this formula substitute t is equal to 2. So v is equal to u is initial velocity is 4.2. Acceleration we have find out 0.6 into time t. So you will get the velocity is 5.4 meter per second after 2 seconds. After 2 seconds. This is velocity after 2 seconds. Now we have to find out acceleration after 2 seconds. So in that case we have to find out an for this velocity. So what is the formula? An is equal to v square upon rho. So in that case we have to use this velocity. Okay, so an is equal to v square upon rho. So we have to find out the normal component of acceleration when v is 5.4, that is after 2 seconds. This is the velocity. So from that you will get the value of an is 0.463 meter per second square, and substituting an in this equation to find out the total at is known to us. An, substitute this value of an over here. So you will get the total acceleration is 0.758 meter per second square. So simple problem. Now we are going to move towards our second problem. Okay. In second problem, a train runs at a speed of 120 km per hour in a curved track of radius 900 meter. The application of brakes suddenly causes the train to slow down at a constant rate. Here please remember constant rate. After 6 seconds, the speed has been reduced to 72 kmph. Determine the acceleration immediately after the brakes are applied. So they have asked us to find out the acceleration after the brakes are applied, immediately after the brakes are applied. Here radius is given. A train runs at a speed of 120 kmph in a curved track of radius of 900 meters. So rho is given 900 meter, and they have asked us to find out the acceleration just immediately after the brakes are applied. Time is 6 seconds. So in that case the velocity changes to 72 kmph. So initial velocity is 120 and after 6 seconds is 72. So initial speed is 33 meter per second. We have converted the 120 kilometer per hour into meter per second by multiplying by 5 by 18. Similarly, final velocity after time t 6 second is 20 meter per second. Since the train slow down at a constant rate, so we can find out the at is equal to change in velocity with respect to time. So final velocity minus initial velocity 20 minus 33.3 upon 6, that is minus 2.22 meter per second square is the tangential acceleration. Now we have to find out the normal component of acceleration. So we are having the formula an v square upon rho. So initially the speed of the train is this one 120 kmph, that is 33.33. They have asked us what is the acceleration just after the brakes are applied. So the velocity at just when the brakes are applied is 33.33. Therefore you have to consider this velocity, not the 20. Okay, dear friends, please understood this concept. They have asked us to find out the acceleration just after the brakes are applied. So velocity at the time of brake apply is 33.33. So an is equal to v square upon rho. R and rho both are same. So that will give you the an 1.235 meter per second square. Then to find out the total acceleration is equal to under root of at square plus an square. Substitute this value, you will get the total acceleration 2.542 meter per second square. Okay, now next, third problem of NT system, normal and tangential system. The automobile is originally at rest. This is very important statement. While reading the problem, you have to understand the problem. The automobile originally at a rest. Originally at a rest means x is equal to 0, t is equal to 0 is given. If then start to increase its speed, v according to the equation dv by dt is equal to 0.015 t square meter per second square, where t is in second and s is in meter. Determine the magnitude of velocity and acceleration when t is equal to 18 seconds. So we have to find out v and a at t is equal to 18. This track is given. Initially it is straight and after that it is curved. The motion is in this direction. Okay. So first we have to find out whether the car at t is equal to 18 seconds, it is on a straight path or in curved path. If it is in straight path, then problem becomes quite simple. So this problem is of rectilinear motion. If the vehicle is entered into the curved path, then we have to use the formula of curvilinear motion, that is an, that we have to find out. We have to find out v and a at t is equal to 18 square then. So dv by dt, that is acceleration, is given 0.15 t square meter per second square. Now first find out the velocity. How to find out the velocity? From equation of acceleration, integrating this equation. So what you will get after integrating, that 0.015 t cube by 3 plus c1. Now in order to find out the constant of integration, we have to use the given condition t at x is equal to 0, t is equal to 0, x is equal to 0, and velocity is also 0 because it is starting from the rest. So you will get the, substituting the value t is equal to 0, v is equal to 0, you will get c1 is equal to 0. So your equation of velocity is v is equal to 0.015 t cube upon 3. Let's call it is equation number 2. Now again integrating the equation of velocity, you will get the displacement, that is s is equal to 0.15 t raised to 4 upon 12, 3 into 4. Now again substitute the condition initially it is at rest when starting from the origin. So x is equal to 0 when t is equal to 0. Substituting that value, you will get c is equal to 0. So your equation becomes s is equal to 0.015 t raised to 4 upon 12 is your equation of displacement. Now from this equation we can find out whether the displacement, what is the displacement in t is equal to 18 seconds, whether it is on the straight path or whether it is on the curve path. Okay, now substitute in equation 3 t is equal to 18. So you will get the displacement 131.22 meter. So it indicates that it enters into this curved path. So this problem is not of rectilinear motion, this problem is of curvilinear motion now. So as 131.22 which is greater than 90 degree, so it is on the curved path, vehicle is on the curved path. Now find AT at t is equal to 18 seconds. So AT is nothing but the dv by dt, that is 80. So you will get the value after differentiating, you will get the AT is 4.86. From equation number 2, t is equal to 18 seconds, we will get the velocity v is equal to, at t is equal to 16, 26.16. Now to find out an is equal to v square upon rho. Now which velocity we have to consider? This is the main part, because they have asked us to find out the acceleration when t is equal to 18 seconds. So we have to consider the velocity at t is equal to 18 seconds. So that velocity is this one. So substitute this velocity, you will get the value of an. So at is known to us, an is known to us, we can find out the value of a. So we can find out the value of a. A is equal to under root of an square plus at square. So an square is nothing but the 4.86 square, 4.86 square plus 9.5 square, and under root of that answer, that is 10.16. So you will get the value of total acceleration A is 10.67 is the total acceleration. Let me check that whether it is correct or not. Yes, it is correct. 10.67 is your total acceleration. Thus today we are solved the three numericals of ENT system, that is normal and tangential system. You from your side try to attempt two more numericals so your concept get clear. Also you have to see the next video that will explain you R theta system.